You'd rush home from school or work, flip on the radio, and suddenly hear something that would stick with you forever. So today, we're taking a journey through 10 years of musical magic to uncover legendary one-hit wonders from every year in the 1970s. Number 11. In the Year 2525 by Zer Evans, 1969/1970.
In the year 2520.
Richard Zer and Richard Evans were two musicians from Lincoln, Nebraska, who created something extraordinary in their basement studio. Their haunting prophecy about humanity's future struck a chord that resonated around the world, climbing to number 1 in multiple countries and staying there for 6 weeks in 2008, the United States, during the summer of 1970.
In the year 35, ain't gonna need to...
The song painted a dystopian picture of mankind's relationship with technology, centuries before we had smartphones or social media. Evans wrote the lyrics after reading a science fiction story, and the duo's simple but effective arrangement created an atmosphere that was both mesmerizing and unsettling. The track featured a distinctive organ melody that seemed to echo through time itself.
Ain't gonna need to tell the truth, tell no lies.
What makes this particularly fascinating is how the song's message feels more relevant today than it did 50 years ago. Zer and Evans were looking ahead to a world where technology might replace human connection, where convenience might come at the cost of our humanity. They recorded several follow-up singles, but none captured the public imagination quite like their vision of the distant future.
You won't find a thing to choose. Nobody...
Convenience might come at the cost of our humanity. They recorded several follow-up singles, but none captured the public imagination quite like their vision of the distant future. The success was overwhelming for the duo. They found themselves thrust into a spotlight they weren't entirely prepared for, performing on television shows and touring internationally. But lightning rarely strikes twice in the same place, and despite their best efforts, they never again achieved the commercial success of their one masterpiece.
In the year 7510.
Number 10. Maggie May by Rod Stewart, 1971.
Wake up, Maggie, I think I got something to say to you.
Rod Stewart's gravelly voice and authentic storytelling made him one of the most distinctive artists of the early 70s. While he would go on to have a successful career, nothing quite matched the raw emotional power of Maggie May, which spent 5 weeks at number 1 and became the song that truly launched his solo career.
It's late September and I really should be.
The track began life as a B-side to Reason to Believe, but radio DJs flipped the single over and started playing what they considered the real gem. Stewart had written the song about an older woman who had been his lover when he was a teenager at the 1961 Beaulieu Jazz Festival. The autobiographical nature of the lyrics, combined with Martin Quittenton's guitar work, created something that felt both intimate and universal. What set Maggie May apart was its honesty. Stewart wasn't trying to be smooth or polished. He was telling a story about complicated feelings, about growing up and moving on. The song captured that moment when you realize a relationship has run its course, but you're not quite ready to let go. It was real life set to music, and people connected with that authenticity.
Just to save you from being alone.
The success of Maggie May established Stewart as a major force in rock music. He would continue to have hits throughout the decade and beyond. But there was something special about this particular moment in time. The song represented a shift in popular music toward more personal, introspective songwriting, and Stewart's performance remains one of the most compelling examples of that movement.
First class fool I know, but I'm as glad.
Number 9. American Pie by Don Mlan, 1972.
Long, long time ago, I can still remember.
Don Mlan spent months crafting what would become one of the most analyzed songs in popular music history. At 8.5 minutes long, American Pie was an ambitious piece that radio stations initially resisted playing. But Mclean's haunting melody and cryptic lyrics about the day the music died captured something profound about American culture in the late 60s and early 70s.
So bye bye, Miss American Pie.
The song's central event, the plane crash that killed Buddy Holly, Richie Valens, and J.P. Richardson in 1959, served as a metaphor for the loss of innocence in American society. McLean wove together references to Bob Dylan, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, and other cultural touchstones to create a musical tapestry that felt both personal and universal.
I was a lonely teenage rockin' buck.
What made American Pie special was its ambition. This wasn't just a 3-minute pop song. It was an epic poem set to music. McLean created verses that built upon each other, each one adding another layer to his complex narrative about how music and culture had changed over the course of a decade. The chorus, with its memorable imagery of driving his Chevy to the levee, became one of the most recognizable hooks in popular music.
So bye bye, Miss American Pie.
The song's success was unprecedented for such an unconventional track. It spent 4 weeks at #1, proving that audiences were hungry for music that took risks and tackled serious subjects. McLean continued to write and perform throughout his career, but nothing he created afterward matched the cultural impact of his masterpiece about the evolution of American music. Number 8. Alone Again, Naturally, by Gilbert OSullivan, 1972. Irish singer-songwriter Gilbert OSullivan, born Raymond Edward OSullivan, created one of the most emotionally complex hits of the early 70s. Alone Again, Naturally, dealt with themes of suicide, abandonment, and loss, yet somehow managed to become a massive international hit that spent 6 weeks at #1 in the United States. The song's deceptively gentle melody masked deeply troubling lyrics about a man contemplating suicide after being left at the altar. OSullivan's soft, conversational vocal style made the dark subject matter feel almost intimate, as if he were sharing a personal confession with each listener. The arrangement, featuring strings and a memorable piano melody, created a beautiful contrast to the song's heavy emotional content.
It seems to me that there are more hearts.
What made this track remarkable was OSullivan's ability to find universal themes in personal pain. The song spoke to anyone who had ever felt abandoned or wondered about their place in the world. His storytelling technique, moving from the specific incident of being left at the altar to broader reflections on life and loss, created a narrative arc that felt both complete and deeply satisfying.
Reality came around you, and without so much as a mere.
The success of Alone Again, Naturally, established OSullivan as a significant voice in popular music, but it also created expectations that proved difficult to meet. While he continued to write and record throughout the decade, none of his subsequent releases achieved the same level of commercial success or cultural impact. The song remains a testament to the power of honest, vulnerable songwriting.
Left unattended, what do we do?
Number 7. Killing Me Softly with His Song, by Roberto Flack, 1973. Roberto Flack's interpretation of Killing Me Softly with His Song transformed a relatively unknown composition into one of the most beloved ballads of the 70s. Originally written by Norman Gimbel and Charles Fox, and first recorded by Laurie Lieberman, the song found its perfect voice in Flack's rich, expressive vocals.
Killing me softly with his song, killing me softly.
Flack discovered the song through Lieberman's original version and immediately connected with its emotional core. Her arrangement stripped away unnecessary elements, focusing attention on the lyrics and her remarkable vocal performance. The result was a recording that felt both intimate and grand, showcasing Flack's ability to inhabit a song completely and make it her own.
Singing my life with his words.
The track spent 5 weeks at #1, establishing Flack as one of the premier vocalists of her generation. Her performance was a masterclass in emotional restraint and technical excellence, never over-singing the material, but always finding the perfect balance between power and subtlety. The song's success also highlighted the growing importance of album-oriented rock radio, which gave artists like Flack the opportunity to reach broader audiences. What made Flack's version special was her understanding of the song's deeper meaning. She wasn't just singing about hearing a song that moved her. She was exploring the profound connection between artist and audience, the way music can reveal truths about ourselves that we might not otherwise acknowledge. Her interpretation remains one of the finest examples of how a great performer can elevate good material into something transcendent.
Killing me softly with his song. Killing me softly.
Number 6. The Night Chicago Died by Paper Lace, 1974.
Daddy was a cop on the east side of Chicago.
Paper Lace, a British band from Nottingham, created one of the most vivid storytelling songs of the mid-70s with The Night Chicago Died. The track, written by Peter Callender and Mitch Murray, told the dramatic story of a fictional battle between Al Capone's gang and the Chicago police during the Prohibition era.
When the town of Chicago died.
The song's success was built on its compelling narrative structure and memorable hook. Paper Lace created a cinematic experience in just over 4 minutes, complete with sound effects and dramatic vocal performances that brought the story to life. The track reached number 1 in the United States and became a worldwide hit, proving that audiences still had an appetite for well-crafted story songs.
Try to make that town his own.
What made The Night Chicago Died particularly effective was its attention to detail. The lyrics painted specific images of the conflict, from the sounds of gunfire to the emotional impact on the narrator's family. The band's performance captured the drama and tension of the story, creating a recording that felt like a miniature movie.
I heard a pray the night Chicago died.
The success of the song established Paper Lace as a significant force in popular music, but it also created a template that proved difficult to replicate. While they continued to record and perform throughout the decade, none of their subsequent releases achieved the same level of commercial success or cultural impact. The song remains a perfect example of how effective storytelling can create lasting popular music.
Pray the night Chicago died.
Number 5. Love Will Keep Us Together by Captain and Tennel, 1975.
Think of me, babe, whenever.
Daryl Dragon and Tony Tennel brought a fresh, optimistic energy to popular music with their version of Love Will Keep Us Together. Originally written and recorded by Neil Sedaka, the song found its perfect interpreters in this husband and wife duo who combined technical musicianship with genuine chemistry.
Look in my heart and let love keep us together.
Captain and Tennelly's arrangement emphasized the song's hopeful message and infectious melody. Dragon's keyboard work provided a solid foundation, while Tennella's warm, expressive vocals brought the lyrics to life. Their performance felt both professional and personal, as if they were sharing their own relationship with the world through the music.
You belong to me.
The track spent 4 weeks at number 1 and became the best-selling single of 1975. Its success helped establish the duo as major stars and demonstrated the continuing appeal of well-crafted pop music during an era when rock was becoming increasingly complex and experimental. The song's optimistic message about the power of love resonated with audiences who were looking for hope and positivity.
Talking me down, yeah, with your heart and your walking.
What made Captain and Tennelly's version special was their ability to make the song feel both timeless and contemporary. They understood that great pop music doesn't have to be complicated to be effective. Their straightforward approach to the material, combined with their obvious affection for each other, created a recording that felt authentic and joyful.
I will be there to share forever.
Number 4. Afternoon Delight by Starland Vocal Band, 1976.
Find my baby, gonna hold her tight, gonna grab some.
The Starland Vocal Band, led by Bill Danoff and Taffy Nevere, created one of the most distinctive hits of the mid-70s with Afternoon Delight. The song's clever double entendre and smooth vocal harmonies made it a massive hit, spending 2 weeks at number 1 and becoming the signature song of the summer of 1976.
Afternoon delight.
What set Afternoon Delight apart was its sophisticated vocal arrangement and playful approach to its subject matter. The band's four-part harmonies created a rich, layered sound that was both contemporary and reminiscent of earlier vocal groups. Danoff's songwriting balanced humor with genuine sentiment, creating a track that worked on multiple levels. The song's success was somewhat unexpected, given its unconventional subject matter and the band's relatively low profile in the music industry. But radio programmers and audiences responded to the track's combination of musical sophistication and good humor. The success helped establish the Starland vocal band as a significant force in popular music, though they struggled to match the commercial impact of their breakthrough hit.
Started out this morning feeling so polite, I always thought of Michigan.
The legacy of Afternoon Delight extends beyond its commercial success. The song became a cultural touchstone, referenced in movies, television shows, and comedy routines for decades after its release. It represents a moment when popular music could be both musically sophisticated and genuinely fun, a combination that seems increasingly rare in today's musical landscape.
Thinking of you's working up an appetite, looking forward to it.
Number 3. Undercover Angel by Alan O'Day, 1977. Alan O'Day spent years working as a songwriter for other artists before achieving his own moment of stardom with Undercover Angel. The song, which he wrote and produced himself, combined elements of pop, rock, and R&B to create something that felt both familiar and fresh. O'Day's approach to the material was both personal and universal. He crafted a narrative about a mysterious woman who appears in the narrator's dreams. But the song's deeper themes dealt with longing, desire, and the search for connection. His vocal performance was conversational and intimate, making listeners feel like they were being let in on a secret. The track's success was driven by its memorable hook and O'Day's skilled production. He understood how to layer different musical elements without overwhelming the song's essential simplicity. The result was a recording that worked equally well on radio and as a personal listening experience. Undercover Angel spent 1 week at number 1 and became one of the defining songs of the summer of 1977. Its success established O'Day as a significant voice in popular music. Though he was never able to replicate the commercial impact of his breakthrough hit, the song remains a perfect example of how personal songwriting can create universal appeal. Number 2. Boogie Oogie Oogie by A Taste of Honey, 1978. A Taste of Honey brought a fresh energy to the disco movement with Boogie Oogie Oogie, a track that perfectly captured the joy and excitement of the late 70s dance scene. The Los Angeles-based duo of Janice Marie Johnson and Hazel Payne created a song that was both musically sophisticated and irresistibly danceable. The track's success was built on its infectious groove and the duo's dynamic vocal interplay. Johnson and Payne had developed their sound through years of live performance, and their chemistry was evident in every note of the recording. The song's arrangement, featuring a prominent bass line and crisp production, created the perfect framework for their energetic performance.
Listen to the music and let your body flow.
Boogie Oogie Oogie spent 3 weeks at number 1 and became one of the signature songs of the disco era. Its success helped establish A Taste of Honey as major stars and demonstrated the continuing evolution of dance music. The song's blend of funk, disco, and pop elements created something that appealed to a broad audience while maintaining its street credibility. What made the track special was its genuine enthusiasm and musical authenticity. This wasn't manufactured disco, it was the real thing, created by artists who understood and loved the music they were making. Johnson and Payne's performance captured the spirit of the times, while creating something that would outlast the era that produced it.
Listen to the music and let your body move.
Number 1. My Chirona by the Knack, 1979.
My little pretty
The Knack burst onto the scene at the end of the decade with My Chirona, a track that perfectly captured the energy and attitude of the emerging new wave movement. Led by Doug Fieger and Burton Aver, the Los Angeles-based band created a song that was both a throwback to earlier rock and roll and a preview of the music that would define the 1980s. The song was inspired by Fieger's real-life girlfriend, Chirona Alperin, and his urgent, almost desperate vocal performance conveyed the intensity of new love. Aver's guitar work provided the perfect complement, creating a sound that was both powerful and precise. The track's arrangement was deceptively simple, but every element was perfectly placed to maximize impact. My Chirona spent 6 weeks at number 1 and became the best-selling single of 1979. Its success helped bridge the gap between the classic rock of the 70s and the new wave movement that would dominate the early 80s. The song's combination of traditional rock elements with a more modern sensibility created something that felt both nostalgic and forward-looking. What made the Knack's breakthrough hit special was its pure, unadulterated energy. This was rock and roll stripped down to its essential elements, performed with passion and precision. The song captured the excitement of young love and the power of great rock music, creating a recording that remains as compelling today as it was 45 years ago. These 11 songs represent more than just commercial successes. They're snapshots of a decade that changed everything. The 1970s gave us music that was honest, adventurous, and deeply connected to the human experience. From the prophetic warnings of Zer and Evans to the pure rock energy of the Knack, each of these tracks captured something essential about their moment in time. What's remarkable about these one-hit wonders is how they've endured. Decades later, we still find ourselves humming these melodies, still connecting with the emotions they captured. They remind us of a time when music felt more immediate, when a single song could unite people across all boundaries of age, race, and class. The artists who created these tracks may not have achieved lasting commercial success, but they gave us something perhaps more valuable: perfect moments in time, preserved in 3-minute packages that continue to move and inspire us. In an era of instant access to unlimited music, these songs remind us of the power of that one perfect track to change everything. If you enjoyed this journey through the one-hit wonders of the 1970s, please like this video and subscribe to our channel for more explorations of the music that shaped our lives. What was your favorite track from this list? Let us know in the comments below, and keep the conversation going about the songs that defined a generation.